She told me to stop liking other girls' photos, so I showed her what her own dad was doing online. The look on her face said everything. It started like most stupid arguments do, over something as meaningless as a double tap. We were sitting on her couch, pizza box between us, Netflix playing something neither of us was really watching. Her phone buzzed. She picked it up, glanced at it, and froze. "Why did you like this?" she asked. I looked over. It was a picture of my coworker, Leah, at a friend's wedding. Nothing inappropriate. Just her in a dress, smiling. A harmless post. "I dunno," I said, half shrugging. "She looked nice. Everyone in the office liked it." She didn't look convinced. Her jaw tightened. Her eyes turned into that specific mix of suspicion and superiority people get when they're looking for a fight they already decided to win. "It's disrespectful," she said flatly. "What is?" "Liking another woman's photo. Especially one like that." "One like what?" "A wedding photo." She sighed, exasperated. "You just don't get it, do you? It's about respect. When you're with someone, you don't give other women attention." I could have argued. I could have said that respect works both ways, that trust isn't built on social media likes. But I'd been through this before, with her and with other people like her. The type who confuses control with care. So I just said, "You're right. My mistake." She relaxed instantly, as if the storm had cleared. She smiled, leaned against me, and kissed my shoulder like nothing had happened. I laughed to myself quietly, because if this was what she thought respect looked like, she was in for a shock. Over the next few weeks, things got worse. Every notification I got seemed to bother her. If I commented "congrats" under a friend's engagement post, she'd scroll through their profile to see if the friend was too attractive. If I posted a photo from the gym, she'd ask if I did it for the girls who followed me. If I didn't post her enough, she'd say I was hiding our relationship. And somehow, every argument ended the same, with me saying, "You're right," because it was easier than trying to reason with insecurity disguised as morality. But something changed after that. I started noticing things. Little contradictions she thought I wouldn't catch. Like how she'd leave heart emojis under male fitness influencers' posts. Or how her camera roll had old memories with her ex that she didn't delete yet. Or how her phone would buzz late at night, and she'd lock it with that subtle nervous smile. I didn't confront her, not yet. Because I've learned something about people like her. When you let them think they're in control, they get sloppy. They stop hiding. And when they stop hiding, you get the truth you were waiting for. So I waited. Until one night, it came to me, like karma in digital form. She was scrolling through Instagram, sighing dramatically. "God," she muttered. "Why does every girl post bikini pics now? No self-respect." I glanced at her screen. It was a beach photo, posted by my sister, actually. The caption was innocent. "Finally summer." Just her and a few friends laughing in the sand. "Yeah," I said casually. "Crazy world." Then I noticed something. Right under my sister's post. A familiar name. A familiar profile picture. Fire, from her dad. I blinked. I thought maybe I was seeing things. But no, there it was. Her father's verified account, leaving a literal fire emoji under my sister's beach photo. I didn't say a word right away. I just filed it away in the back of my head, like a lawyer saving the key piece of evidence for closing arguments. And when the moment came, oh, I was going to use it. After that night, I started paying closer attention, not just to what she said, but how she lived. It was like a switch flipped in my head. Every time she threw the word respect at me, I remembered her dad's little flame emoji under my sister's picture, and it got a little easier to stay quiet and watch. Because if there's one thing life always does, it's reveal the double standards of people who think they're morally superior. A few days later, we went to dinner with her friends. Fancy rooftop place, overpriced cocktails, too much perfume in the air. The usual. Everything was fine until her best friend, Tasha, mentioned a new coworker. "He's cute," Tasha laughed. He asked if I'm single. My girlfriend leaned forward, eyes lighting up with that gossipy sparkle. "Wait, show me his profile." She grabbed Tasha's phone, scrolled through the guy's Instagram, and, before anyone could blink, tapped the heart on a few of his gym pics. I just sat there, sipping my drink. When she handed the phone back, she caught my expression and frowned. "What?" she asked. "Nothing," I said. "Just thought it was disrespectful to like someone else's photos when you're in a relationship." The silence that followed was sharp enough to cut the background music. Her friends glanced at each other, clearly trying to decide if this was a fight they wanted front row seats for. She forced a laugh. Oh my God, it's different, okay? He's my friend's coworker. It's not like I'm flirting. Sure, I said, nodding. Different. She rolled her eyes. You're really gonna be one of those guys now. One of what guys? The petty ones who turn everything into a competition. I thought you were more mature than that. There it was, the classic deflection. When they do it, it's harmless. When you do it, it's disrespectful. When they cross a boundary, it's no big deal. When you mirror it, suddenly you're toxic or controlling. I smiled, leaned back, and said calmly, You're right. I'm probably overreacting. And once again, that satisfied, smug look crept back onto her face, like she'd just won a moral debate. But she didn't realize that this time, I wasn't backing down out of submission. I was stepping back to aim. A few nights later, she came home from work late. Hair perfect, perfume new, mood bright. I went out with the girls, she said casually. Oh yeah? Where? Just a bar downtown. Nothing crazy. She tossed her purse on the counter and went straight to the bathroom. Her phone buzzed twice before she could close the door. I glanced at the screen. 2 messages from Ethan, work. Nothing incriminating, but one of them read, Had a great time tonight. You're hilarious. Same place next week. I didn't touch her phone. Didn't snoop. Didn't ask. Because now I didn't need proof. I just needed her to keep digging. The next morning, she made pancakes like nothing had happened. Kissed me on the cheek, told me she loved me. And I just smiled and thought, You love control. Not me. That weekend, my sister posted another photo, this time at a pool party. Guess who was back in the comments section? Fire, fire, fire. Her dad again. 2 fire emojis this time, like he was leveling up in creep mode. I laughed out loud. She looked up from her coffee. What's so funny? Oh, nothing, I said. Just something online. Later that evening, she brought up the same old argument. I still think it's weird that you follow that coworker of yours, she said, out of nowhere. It's like you want attention. Leah? She's married. Doesn't matter. That's when I decided it was time. I pulled out my phone, opened Instagram, scrolled to my sister's page, and turned the screen toward her. Quick question, I said evenly. Would you consider this disrespectful? Her eyes narrowed. What do you mean? Well, I said, zooming in on the comment section. Your dad seems to think my sister's beach photo deserves 2 fire emojis. Should I have a word with him about respect? For a moment, she didn't breathe. Her face went from confusion to realization, and then to pure horror. She blinked rapidly, trying to find a way out. That's not what it looks like. He's just old-fashioned. Yeah, I said. Old-fashioned enough to publicly thirst comment on his son-in-law's sister. Totally normal. Don't twist it, she snapped, voice trembling. You're trying to make me feel bad. No, I'm just showing you what hypocrisy looks like up close. She stood up, pacing, shaking her head. You're insane. This is why I can't talk to you. You always turn things into attacks. I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice, didn't even look angry. I just said quietly, maybe you're right. Maybe I'm the problem. But from now on, I'll make sure I don't disrespect you, online or offline. She stormed out of the room, slamming the door so hard the picture frames rattled. I sat back, still holding my phone, watching the screen fade to black. And I realized something. Sometimes silence speaks louder than shouting ever could. Because the truth had already done its job. She saw herself in the mirror I held up. And she didn't like the reflection one bit. Update 1. The next few days were eerily calm. Too calm. Leah didn't mention the fire emoji situation again, but I could tell it was eating at her. Every time she glanced at her phone, her jaw tightened just a bit. Every time my sister's name popped up on Instagram, she pretended not to notice. And yet, she still kept her little double standards alive. Still commented, Fire Queen, on her friends' bikini photos. Still lectured me about respect. But the energy had shifted. She'd lost that smug tone, replaced by tension, a quiet paranoia that made her check her reflection in every window. Then came Sunday dinner. It was a tradition. Her parents, her brother, sometimes her aunt. I'd been there nearly every week for 2 years. But that night, it felt like I was walking into a storm everyone could smell, but no one wanted to name. Her dad opened the door with a big grin. Hey, champ, he said, clapping me on the shoulder. His breath reeked faintly of whiskey. Evening, I said, managing a polite smile. We all sat down for dinner. Roast chicken, mashed potatoes, awkward tension. And then Leah's brother, The type who lived for chaos, looked at his dad's phone and snorted. What's so funny? Leah asked. Oh, nothing, he said, smirking. Just noticed dad's Instagram activity. Man's out here acting 25 again. Leah froze mid-bite. Her mom frowned. What are you talking about? He turned the phone to her. Loud enough for everyone to hear, he read. Fire, 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 you're stunning. Silence. Her mom blinked. Who's that? Her brother chuckled. Some girl named Sophie, my last name. I looked down at my plate. Leah's face turned white. Her fork clattered onto the table. Her father's expression went from confident to mortified in half a second. Oh, that must have been a mistake, he stammered. You know how phones. Autocorrect. Autocorrect. Fire emojis. Sure thing, Bob. Leah's mother gave him the kind of stare that could melt titanium. A mistake that includes two emojis and a comment? Really? Leah's voice trembled. Dad, please stop talking. I stayed silent. Because honestly, what could I add? The universe was doing all the heavy lifting for me. Her mom turned to me. I'm so sorry, dear. I don't know what's gotten into him. I smiled politely. No apology needed. It's not my business what people do online. That line landed like a brick. Leah shot me a look sharp enough to cut glass. Her mom didn't miss it either. Is there something I should know? She asked carefully. Leah shook her head too fast. No, nothing. Just a misunderstanding. The rest of dinner was a train wreck in slow motion. Nobody spoke except for the clinking of forks. When we got home, she exploded. You set me up, she screamed the second the door closed. I blinked. What are you talking about? You knew my brother would see that. You wanted to humiliate me in front of everyone. I almost laughed. Leah, your dad's the one who commented. I didn't even say a word. You're twisting everything again. You. Her voice cracked. Tears welled up, but they weren't sad tears. They were angry, panicked, desperate tears. You made me look stupid. I didn't raise my voice. Didn't fight back. I just said softly, no, Leah, you made yourself look stupid. I just stopped covering for you. And that was it. No shouting match. No dramatic breakup scene. Just quiet truth hanging in the air like smoke. She slept on the couch that night. The next morning, her toothbrush was gone. A week later, I started getting texts from mutual friends. Screenshots of her storytime posts. Sometimes people pretend to be kind, but are secretly manipulative. It's crazy how men twist things just to feel like they won. Glad I'm out of that toxic relationship. I didn't respond. Didn't defend myself. Instead, I posted one simple story. A screenshot of a recipe my sister had sent me, captioned, Dinner with family tonight, red heart. 2 hours later, I saw her name pop up under the viewers list. Then again, then again. I muted her profile after that. Not out of anger, just peace. Because when someone lies about you, the worst thing you can do to them is nothing. You let the silence do the talking. And people eventually hear the truth on their own. Final update, 2 months passed. No contact, no texts, no late-night accidental calls. Just silence, the kind that feels like peace after a storm. Life became light again. I started cooking more, seeing friends I'd neglected, spending weekends hiking instead of arguing about Instagram likes. And the funny thing? I didn't realize how much space Leah had taken up in my mind until she was gone. Silence wasn't lonely anymore. It was freedom. Then, one night, as I was closing my laptop after work, my phone buzzed. Leah. The text was short. Hey, can we talk? I stared at the screen for a good minute. My heart didn't skip. My pulse didn't rise. It was just nothing. Still, curiosity won. About what? I replied. She took a few minutes to respond. I just want to apologize. Everything's been awful lately. I know I hurt you. I sighed. I knew that tone. The one people use when they want something, not when they're truly sorry. Still, I agreed to meet. Not out of hope. Out of closure. We met at a small cafe downtown. The same one we used to go to every Sunday after grocery shopping. She was already there, nervously stirring her coffee, her hair tied back like it used to be when she wanted to look put together. Hey, she said, voice soft. You look good. I smiled politely. Thanks. You too. For a moment, neither of us spoke. The air was thick with old habits and unspoken memories. Then she broke the silence. I know I messed up. I said and did things that weren't fair. You didn't deserve that. Her eyes shimmered. I wasn't sure if it was guilt or performance. Maybe both. I appreciate that, I said evenly. But I've moved on. She swallowed. I know. I saw your pictures with that girl. She seems nice. Oh, there it was. Not remorse. Jealousy. She is, I said simply. She forced a laugh. Guess I was your warm-up, huh? I didn't respond. Just took a sip of coffee. She leaned in. Can I ask you something? Did you plan that dinner thing with my dad? I looked her dead in the eye. No, but karma has good timing. She flinched. I lost so many friends after that night. Everyone thought I overreacted. My mom barely talks to me. I'm sorry to hear that, I said. And I meant it, in a detached, human way. She sighed, looking down. You really don't hate me? I smiled faintly. Hate takes energy. I'd rather spend mine building something better. That was the last thing I ever said to her in person. 2 weeks later, I got a message from her brother. Dude, just so you know, Leah's dad's been banned from Instagram. Her mom found out he was DMing your sister again. Whole family's a mess. Guess karma wasn't done yet. I didn't reply, just stared at the message for a while, then laughed quietly. Not out of spite, but relief. Because I wasn't part of that chaos anymore. Fast forward 6 months. I was in Tokyo, sitting at a rooftop bar overlooking Shibuya. My girlfriend, now my fiancée, was next to me, laughing about how different life felt when drama wasn't your baseline. She didn't care about likes, didn't compare, didn't compete, didn't keep score. She cared about presence, not attention. And that was everything. At some point, I checked my phone and saw a message request. Leah, again, I saw your engagement post. She's beautiful. I'm happy for you. I really am. Maybe she was telling the truth. Maybe not. Either way, I let the message sit unread. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't revenge at all, it's peace. It's living well enough that the people who hurt you realize too late what they threw away. And that's exactly what I'd done. A month later, I got a call from an unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Later, curiosity got the better of me. It was Leah's mom. Her voice was shaky. Hi, sweetheart. I just wanted to thank you for how you handled everything with grace. Leah, she's not doing so well. But she keeps saying you were the only man who ever really respected her. I just thought you should know. I didn't respond. There wasn't anything left to say. Because respect is a two-way street. And some people only learn that when the road ends. That night, I took one last look at Leah's old messages before deleting them all. Every, where are you? Every, why are you so distant? Every half-hearted apology. Gone. The next morning, my fiancée and I walked through a quiet park in Kyoto. She looked at me, smiling. You look like a man who finally let something go. I smiled back. I guess I did. She reached for my hand. Whoever she was, thank her. Because she helped make you ready for me. And for the first time in years, I realized she was right. Not all pain is wasted. Some of it teaches you how to recognize peace when you finally find it.